All due respect, like I said, I don't have anything personal against this court. I'm not a corporation, right? I'm a natural person. Where is the body of the crime, Judge? You went to law school, you're a practitioner.
I don't know because I haven't heard testimony.
A particularly disruptive sovereign citizen recently appeared in court, and let's just say it didn't go smoothly. He refused to stay quiet and kept interrupting the judge. The whole reason he was there? He believed he didn't need a driver's license, like traffic laws don't apply to him. What really stood out was how the judge handled the situation. Her calm and professional approach was admirable, especially given how tense things got. I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say she made it clear that the court wasn't going to tolerate any nonsense.
All due respect, like I said, I don't have anything personal against this court or anything. I just request that this court adhere to the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution and hold that these state statutes in which they have me charged with are constitutional based on the U.S. Supreme Court. And what is the case? DeShaney versus Winnebago Department of Social Services, there was a young child whom the mother relays that the father was beating the child, and the child died. The mother sued all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and the U.S. Supreme Court held that no matter how bad or gruesome that this case was, when it concerned the case, that the states have no duty to protect citizens from other citizens. Anything that compels performance, there has to be a contract. And again, I reserve my rights under UCC 1-308 and the common law UCC 1-103.6. And it's clear, Your Honor. And I ask that this court, do their sworn fulfill their sworn oath under the Michigan rules, the Michigan Judicial Code of Conduct. The court is not to be swayed by public opinion or what the people may think or whatever it may be. Like the great honorable Judge Dalton A. Robes. So every government is entitled to a Republican form of government, not a corporate. I'm not a corporation, right? I'm a natural person. The case law clearly breaks everything down, which everyone is in default. I just ask that this court dismiss this case at this juncture. If the court does not, I demand under the supremacy clause, the subpoena power of this court, to have Kim Worthy brought in so we can have an evidentiary hearing. Because how can a criminal prosecute or allege that I'm a criminal when they're committing all the crimes, Judge? Since I've been home, I've been making reports of police and other things, violations of law against me at the precinct. And no one listens to me. They just ignore me. But when people call and say, well, hey, Mr. McCrary did this, Mr. McCrary did that, they come, then it's found out nothing happened.
Under our state constitution, this court has jurisdiction. Furthermore, as far as discovery goes, I personally sent Mr. McCrary twice, and I have the emails, copies of the emails to show that that's necessary.
Where are the dates?
Dates are not on here. May 24th, which was last week, and May 5th.
Dive into the footage, and while you watch, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this man genuinely believes what he's saying, or is he just trying to avoid consequences? At one point, this individual claimed he hadn't received emails from the prosecutor, even though it was obvious he had. It's like he was determined to stick to a story that wasn't holding up. Now, to be fair, many of these so-called sovereign citizens are incredibly persistent in their beliefs, no matter how misguided. Even when judges explain the law clearly, they keep arguing, almost like they think saying, "I don't accept your authority," will make the legal system disappear. Spoiler, it won't. What do you think? Does that level of commitment earn any respect, or is it just a waste of everyone's time? To be honest, I'm torn.
I don't know. I'll give you it's gonna take a couple seconds. One of those emails, the E is missing in there.
That's not my fault. They violate your order. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you should have received one of them.
Nothing.
Right, and neither one of them came back as bad email.
Okay. All right, so Mr. McCurry, I don't know why you're not receiving discovery, you did not receive it.
He didn't send, can we subpoena Google and,
No,
litigate this and
This
show that he hasn't
this
sent
is not a
anything?
trial, this is not evidence you're hearing.
Well, can I say one more thing?
After we get done today, confirm your email address. You can even send a test email to make sure that he received it.
Well, he did. It showed me that he got my paperwork. He admitted in the last receipt that he received my
Okay,
paperwork.
and
So why would he send it? Well, why wouldn't I get it back? My email is legit. It's my phone right here.
okay,
Also a jurisdictional challenge,
let's,
right?
before we get to that, Adrian or Stetson, you want to respond before we create?
Yes, Your Honor, I do want to make a record. This defendant has already availed himself to the jurisdiction of the courts of the state by admitting to having a driver's license. And also further add that the 10th Amendment has allotted and given police powers to the states, which then allows the states to create criminal laws under which this defendant must avail himself to. I further add that, again, as the court has acknowledged, that this defendant has at least once received the discovery to his emails, to his correct email. So any more allegations of not receiving discovery would be improper, given that we have it at least proven that he has it at least once. And there have been no additions or corrections since the discovery was done the first time.
Okay,
May I
Mr.
respond?
McCurry, I'm gonna wrap this up, you can respond and.
Yeah, just briefly if I may.
Sure.
Well, this young lady here to basically
Mr. Sessions,
respond, Mr. Sessions, to respond to her statements in Michigan. They're locking people up for not having a driver's license. I was compelled.
there are people. getting
But I
locked up
reserve my
for
rights. This was the
murdering
law.
people As well,
Pardon?
people getting locked up for murder as well.
Well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is the corpus delicti, they're going off written statements. You know the corpus delicti rule under the Michigan Supreme Court case, as well as the federal court case. Where's the body of a crime? They're saying ammunition, all this, that. Where's the guns at? Where's the victim at? Strangulation, where's all this? Where's the medical
I wouldn't
reports?
know because we haven't
And
had
then,
an exam.
okay, but no, jurisdiction, once it's challenged, it must be proven by the people. This is state and federal law, from the Michigan court.
Like, is this dude really that stupid? Like, I really can't tell. I can't tell if he's trying to drag the case out or if he's just an idiot. I mean, I know it might be a little bit of both, but I just can't tell. And I know I called him dumb earlier, but now I'm starting to think he might actually know what he's doing. Only in the slightest way, though. Like, he's kind of just throwing me off because he's weirdly good at talking. And I know that doesn't make him a genius or anything, but usually these sovereign citizens are just spitting at the judge, just screaming at him, not even making any sense. But this dude's citing case laws, which obviously aren't even valid for the situation here. But the part that killed me was when he said there was no victim or weapon. Like, bro, we're not even at the preliminary exam yet. The prosecutor has the evidence, and we all know it. I mean, we all just watched it. So let's just wrap this thing up already. Like, if he interrupts the judge one more time, I swear I'm gonna lose it. Like, at this point, I'm just convinced this dude loves hearing himself talk.
So I'm demanding that I mean, they're already in default, but still, again, I'm demanding jurisdiction be challenged, personal subject matter and territorial jurisdiction. Even when I was in prison, I had interactions with Kim Worthy, chief prosecuting officer for the state, and I reserved my rights then in prior proceedings, as well as I was compelled to obtain a driver's license. And I reserved my rights. That's all the law mandates, that I reserve my rights, which I have done. And right now, this lady, Mrs. Prosecutor, I can't remember her name, Mrs. Sisson, Esquire Sisson, and this gentleman here, they're in conspiracy and violating federal and state law. They're committing crimes, and I demand that their oath of office, their law, their license to practice law, amongst other things, be given to me, as well as their bond, as well as you, Judge, Your Honor. Also, like I say, jurisdiction has been challenged, and they have to prove it first based on the case law, which I have noted in this paperwork. They can't get around that. We can say, well, yeah, they're talking about reserving rights and all that. Okay, but still the law from the state Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and federal jurisdictions clearly mandates that once jurisdiction is challenged, the person asserting jurisdiction has to prove it. And all they have is statements. Under the corpus delicti rule, out of court statements is not evidence, so these charges should be dismissed. Where is the body of the crime, Judge?
You
went to law school, you're a practitioner.
I don't know because I haven't heard testimony to know.
Well, that's not how it works with jurisdictional
That's
challenges.
how, you know, that way. So, do you have any last
Well, I would like,
statements, because I'm getting ready.
okay, I would like to challenge jurisdiction again, which I have done from the onset of this case, personal, subject matter and territorial jurisdiction. State and federal case law is clear, in which this court being inferior to the higher courts must adhere to their oath of office, their bond, and so on and so forth, their license to practice law and the Michigan rules of Code of Judicial Conduct, and must compel the people to prove jurisdiction, which they're asserting. Where's the proof? You have to show this court. That's at any stage of the proceeding, the law allows that.
Okay. So on discovery, I saw paperwork confirming the email address that you provided to the court is now the record, that discovery was sent. I'm not sure if it's an email, please don't interrupt. If there's another email you would like to be sent to, I will ask the prosecutor to do so. 2, for requesting license numbers from everyone. My name is right here in front of you. You can go right on State
I
Bar.
ain't saying that.
RP numbers are available for you to look up as they are for any general public. Okay. As far as venue, jurisdiction, and you mentioned this, you don't know whether I was appointed or elected. I was both.
On one hand, some of what he said didn't make any legal sense. On the other hand, he was at least somewhat articulate, more so than others who go down this path. Instead of yelling, he was trying, unsuccessfully, to reference legal cases. The strangest part was when he said, "There's no victim or weapon." But the trial hasn't even started yet, and the prosecutor clearly has evidence. Interrupting the judge over and over doesn't help his case. It just drags the whole process out unnecessarily. At this point, it seems like he's more interested in hearing himself talk than actually resolving anything. This is exactly the kind of behavior that clogs up the legal system. Courts already move slowly, and having to deal with people who reject basic laws only makes things worse. Imagine being a real victim, waiting for your case to be heard, only to sit through hours of someone arguing that driver's licenses don't apply to them. The law is straightforward. If you're driving on public roads, you need a license. There's no secret loophole or hidden clause that changes that. And yet, the confidence of people like this is always surprising. They insist they're right, even when every legal expert in the room says otherwise. Worse, some people online actually encourage them, praising their court appearances as if they were successful, when in reality, they're just adding to their legal troubles. So here's my question to you. Do you think people like this really believe what they're saying? Or are they just trying to avoid responsibility by pretending they're above the law? I personally think it's a mix. Some are truly convinced, while others are just trying to game the system. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and see you next time.